A week would have passed following the Mizuki incident. After the scroll of sealing was returned, the Third Hokage would have a long talk with both Naruto and Kori. With Kori, she had inquiries about who she was, where she came from, why was she the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. The Third Hokage would have to take the time to explain. I figure you are old enough now to know the truth of your past, Kori. About 12 years ago, you were found in a strange contraption, a pod of sorts. We have no idea where it came from or from whom you might be known. In fact, we don't exactly know anything about you. As far as we were concerned, you were an orphan. Although with the red hair, we assumed that maybe you were a part of the Uzumaki clan. The Uzumaki clan? Wait, like Naruto? Like me? Yes. However, that's been inconclusive. We believe that you simply just have red hair, but after testing your DNA, you have no affiliation with the Uzumaki. Even still, you have a great power. The fact that your seal is able to hold off the Nine-Tails is proof of that, even if you aren't of Uzumaki descent. I see. A lot of this was much for Kori to take in. She had always known she was an orphan, although she had hoped that maybe someone might know something of her parent lineage. But the fact that they knew just about nothing at all, it only proved just how much of isolation she had been in her whole life. And then there came Naruto. I'm sure you have questions as well. I mean, I don't know how I did what I did. It's Hiruka Sensei called it wood release. The very technique used by the first Hokage. That's what he said. I mean, that sounds cool, but how do I have it? Am I related to the first Hokage or something? You are not. You have no blood ties to the first Hokage. Maybe loosely, but that's another story. Then, how do I have the power? The Third Hokage, who had been smoking on his pipe, would put it out. Now was the time to tell them the story. Not all of it, but just enough. He would tell them about the night of the Nine-Tails attack, and even more so, the night that another beast arose from under Konoha to battle against the Nine-Tails. A creature of great size and strength. The two of them fought to a stalemate. The Third Hokage used the last of his power before he died to seal the two beasts inside of each of them. Kori got the Nine-Tails, and Naruto got the strange plant-like creature, a being of immense strength, and had the ability to control wood. The Third Hokage would theorize that this was likely the result of it being sealed inside of Naruto, that this was the power that he possessed. Naruto was surprised to learn this. After all, if he had something sealed inside of him, then why didn't the villagers treat him all that badly? I mean, at worst, he got a few looks here and there. Some people were cautious, like they didn't really know what to make of him. The reason for it is because Naruto's beast is seen as the hero, Kori would say. I'm the villain, he's the hero. At least, it sounds like that's how it played out. You are both heroes. The fact that you both have the beast sealed inside of you means that you both serve as protectors of the village. It's because of you that there is any peace at all. Although sadly, some cannot see it that way. Upon learning these things, the two children would leave with their life now skewed in different perspectives. For Corey, she now understood why she received the looks that she did, although all the same, it still left more of her life to be even more of a mystery, one that she desperately wanted to solve. As for Naruto, he wasn't quite sure of how to take everything. What did this mean for him? He had a tailed beast, well, technically tailless. It was classified as the Zero Tails. Anyway, he was in the same boat as Corey. Yet, as if he had never noticed. Was the beast shy? Did it just not want to interact with him at all? Could Naruto interact with it? That was just something he'd have to find out with time. During the week following the Mizuki attack, Naruto tried to use Wood Release again, but it was a lot more difficult than one might expect. He walked out to the forest every day. He placed his hand on the trees. He tried to bend and control it, but it didn't really do anything. Nothing really affected the trees at all. It was starting to make Naruto irritated. Not too long ago, he was able to pull out that big trunk-like branch from under the ground, almost effortlessly. And now he couldn't even make a simple twig move at his whim. Maybe he really wasn't as good with Wood Release as he thought he would be. But all the same, he'd have to put that to the side, because now was the day that the Genin teams would be assigned. Iruka would now tell them where they were going to go and what teams they would be in, and their number designation. When he reached 7, the names would be drawn out. Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, and Corey. All three of them looked at one another, with puzzling expressions on their face. Naruto was virtually the middleman in this scenario, with Sasuke being the one that had the highest scores, and Corey being the dead last. This was a new dynamic for Naruto, since he knew that he'd be teamed up with two polarizing individuals. He had already seen many sides of Corey. Her sadness, her anger, her exuberant joy, as well as her overconfidence and her smugness. But with Sasuke, he was a completely different animal. The boy was cold, calculated, precise. Naruto had sparred with Sasuke a few times. He was always able to hold his own, but even still, Sasuke usually got the better of him in every exchange. Sasuke was definitely the best of the best among the rookies. As the students all filed out, meeting with their respective Jonin teachers, Naruto, Corey, and Sasuke all sat in an empty classroom, waiting for their Jonin to arrive. Sasuke sat on the right side of the room, Corey on the left, and Naruto in the middle. Unlike in the original timeline, Naruto here wasn't much of a prankster. He didn't really need to be. Now, of course, he was still an orphan. It didn't mean that he had all the friends in the world and that everything just went his way. It just meant that the villagers didn't really mess with him, and he didn't really mess with the villagers. Corey, on the other hand, was a different story. Although Corey wasn't the type of person to pull pranks, she was the type of person to throw hands, and those hands were rated E for everyone. No, Corey was the type of person that just didn't take bull from anyone, as seen in the first part when she lifted the bullies all the way up to the sky and threatened to make them go splat like a tomato. And then there was Sasuke, the one who seemed indifferent to it all, as if he didn't care one way or another. All three of them sat in silence for what felt like forever, until Naruto tried to break the ice. He tried to say something, but they either didn't hear him or they didn't really care. For Naruto, it felt absolutely hopeless. He felt like he was caught in the middle between two minefields, and that either one of them could go off at either moment. He just had this look of defeat on his face. By the time their teacher had arrived, he arrived to see three students just sitting separately. silently. The silver-haired man, who had a mask that covered his face and his forehead protector that covered his left eye, he scoped out the entire room. His first impression? They all seem rather boring. Well, looks like this is my team. Alright everyone, follow me to the roof. All three would do as told, as the older man would introduce himself. My name is Kakashi Hatake, and I will be your Jonin leader. Our team designation, Squad 7. I figure we should take the time to get to know each other. I mean, you all just sat in silence for what felt like eternity, so maybe we need to do a little icebreakers to sort of melt the tension. Don't you agree? He would point to Naruto first. Alright, you in the middle. My name's Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki. I like going on walks through the forest. I like eating ramen. I really enjoy that. I like trying different types of ramen. I like doing ramen reviews whenever possible. I mean, I know I probably can't make a career out of it, but if I could make reviews of ramen for a living, that would be really, really cool. As far as my dislikes, I don't know. I guess just people who are mean? I have no real idea about what I dislike. Wait, I think I do. I dislike waking up early. That sucks. And my dream, I don't really know. I don't think I have one. Okay, and you, Red. My name is Corey. What I like? I say I like seafood. It's something I enjoy. My dislikes? People who don't know their place. My dream? It's none of your business. Okay, feisty one. And you? My name is Sasuke Uchiha. I don't particularly like anything, and I don't particularly dislike anything either. My dream? No, my reality. I am going to restore my clan, and I am going to kill a certain someone. Yeah, that's just about what I expected. Naruto had a suspicious look on his face. He had no idea who it was that he wanted to kill, but he hoped it wasn't anyone he knew at least. Alright, well, I guess that breaks the tension well enough, I guess. Anywho, we're going to be going on a bit of an exercise tomorrow morning. You'll meet me here at the designated training area at 5 a.m. Also, I advise that you all don't eat anything. Why not? Naruto would ask. Oh, well, it's because what we're going to be doing isn't going to be for the faint of heart. And, well, you don't want to throw up all over the place now, do ya? Naruto would shudder at the very idea. What could the man possibly have planned that could be that sinister, that could be that heinous? All the same, everyone would go back to their homes in preparation for what was to come. 5 a.m. would appear the next day. Sasuke was the first to arrive, followed by Naruto. Corey arrived an hour late, still yawning, looking like she had slept in considering all the bed hair that she still had, and she didn't really seem to care at all. The Genin sat there for what felt like eternity. H1 slumped up against a tree. Out of everyone, though, Naruto got the best sleep. For him, the tree was like another bed, and it didn't really affect him all that much. By the time 8 o'clock rolled around, Kakashi came through, fresh as a daisy. Corey was the first one to jolt up, angry as hell that he had been late. Oh, I'm sorry. I was on my way here, but then a black cat crossed my path. I didn't want to have bad luck, so I had to take the scenic route. And you know, when you're taking the scenic route, sometimes you get lost on the path of life and you're a liar. Well, to each his own. Anywho, it seems like you all rested just peacefully, especially Naruto. Naruto was slumped up against a tree, snoring, half drooling. He looked as though he was getting the best sleep he had ever gotten in his entire life. Corey stomping on the ground to get him to wake up. As they walked over to a tree stump, Kakashi would take out a bell along with 2 box lunches and 2 smaller bells that he tied on the side of his waist. The clock timer would be set. Alright guys, here's the rules. You have till noon to take these bells from me. If you do, you get lunch. The one who doesn't take a bell gets tied to this stump and has to watch while the others eat their lunch. Wait, that's what we're doing? Naruto would say. I get it. Sasuke rolled his eyes, now angered at himself for his foolishness. You figured it out, didn't you? You didn't want us to eat. It was a deception. You know, I do this every time and no one ever sees through it. Wait, you mean we could have eaten this whole time? Naruto and Corey would say in unison. Well, of course. I only advised you not to eat. I never said you couldn't. And even if I did, I wouldn't have been around to stop you. How would I know? Both Naruto and Corey had the sinking feeling of desperation and foolishness. But then there was another concern. There were only 2 bells. Shouldn't there be 3? Keen eye. No, there are only 2 bells. Only 2 of you are going to be able to get a bell. Then that means the third one won't be able to. That's right. And that means one of you is going to be tied to this stump. But there's more to it than that. Whoever doesn't get a bell is going back to the academy. What? That's right. This exam, this test, only 2 of you are going to be taken as my students. The one that fails is going to be the one that goes back to the academy. What? You thought just because you got those pretty little headbands of yours that you were all ninja now? No. This is serious business. I don't have time to waste on those who have no talent and no drive. If you're not good enough, I'm sending you back to the academy. I only train those who I deem worthy enough to be trained. Understood? Everyone now was on guard, Kakashi taking his position. He would tell them all to begin, and just as quickly, all 3 would disappear. They were definitely good at hiding. Of course, as each one of them hid away, the thought of failure etched into their minds. They knew that this wasn't what they wanted to do. All the same, though, it didn't take long for one of them to get bold, that being Corey. She made a dash towards Kakashi, who flipped and avoided her at the last second, as he turned around to face the orange-skinned girl. Ah yes, the fiery Corey. Starfire, more like it. Starfire? What kind of a name is that? Just something I made up. I mean, you do have the tenacity of the brightest of stars, you know. I mean, I could call you Sunfire, but I think Starfire has a nice ring to it. Don't call me that. Corey would make another attempt at the bells. Kakashi would have to stay on guard. The girl was definitely a lot faster than you could give her credit for. Her speed alone was already at that of a Chunin. The fact that Kakashi had to actually put effort into dodging her said enough. Corey would attempt to follow him at every which way, and after a while, Kakashi realized what he was dealing with. At the last moment, Cory thought that she had gotten close to him, only for it to be a substitution jutsu. And just as quickly, she found her body being brought underground. Only her head was left above. Ninja art, headhunter jutsu. A ninja has to learn to see through these things, Cory. Although I gotta say, your speed is definitely Before he could even finish that sentence, with just her raw strength, Cory dug her way out from underground. For Kakashi, this was just insane. The girl just pursued him endlessly. It was like she had the strength for days. What was she? Eventually, though, Kakashi had to get serious. When Cory made another lunge towards him, he dodged before delivering a roundhouse kick to her back, slamming her to the ground. Before she had a chance to even make another move, he picked her up by the back of the head, lifted her up, and kicked her in the gut, knocking her back into a tree. The tree actually cracked a little. Kakashi had to put some effort into it. Just enough for the girl to feel pain for the first time truly as she slumped to the ground, coughing and spitting up profusely. You should take that as a sign of respect. I actually acknowledge you enough to use that level of power against you. Whatever. It was just then Sasuke would come in next. Although, how he had done it was what surprised everyone. Well, everyone except Kakashi. Protruding from his back were two pair of black wings. As he soared through the sky, he came swooping in like a bird, just barely getting the bells at the last second. Kakashi just barely had enough time to react as Sasuke turned back towards him, already weaving the hand signs. Fire style! Fireball jutsu! The fireball would come shooting towards Kakashi. Kakashi barely having time to react as he weaved a quick series of hand signs. Ninja art, earth style, mud wall jutsu. The mud wall would emerge from the ground, blocking against the fire. The blast was definitely powerful, even for that of a genin. Sasuke would come in once more, engaging in a series of combat with Kakashi. Kakashi having both of his arms occupied, as Sasuke, using his one free arm from the two kicks he had dished out, would reach towards the bells, only for Kakashi to back away. Sasuke would come after him once again, only for Kakashi to move at the last second, having some hidden ninja wire wrapping around Sasuke's whole body and tying him upside down, hanging from a tree. As Kakashi would back away once again, having dealt with both Cory and Sasuke, the only person he was waiting for was Naruto. Naruto was the only one that hadn't stepped forward. He wondered where the young boy could be. While Sasuke was untying himself and Cory was still reeling from the combos that Kakashi had dealt towards her, Naruto had been trying to formulate a plan, some way to catch Kakashi. He had backed up just enough to create space while he was trying to figure something out. Right now, they were in a forest. He had wood released, didn't he? So technically, he should have the advantage. But still, he just couldn't figure out a way to use wood. He held onto a branch, just trying to see if he could bend it, see if he could mold it. He focused. He focused as hard as he could. He imagined causing the branch to bend, just to bend. Slowly but surely, the branch would twitch. It would twitch a little more, and a little more, until finally it bent halfway. I did it. I did it! Yeah, you did it. That's impressive, Naruto. Oh, thanks, Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi-sensei! Well, you weren't going to come to me, so I thought I should come to you. Naruto would back away immediately, standing on guard. However, he felt a hand touch his shoulder. Now, Naruto. Why back away from me? I mean, you only back away from an opponent when you're on equal footing with them. You act as though I can't catch you. A shiver went down his spine when Kakashi did this. Naruto continuing to run, running through the forest, running as fast as he could. Yet every time he reached an opening, Kakashi was waiting for him. Naruto would turn away and run again, only for Kakashi to appear at the last second just when Naruto thought he had escaped. How was he doing this? Naruto kept running over and over again, yet every time he tried to get out of the forest, Kakashi was just standing there waiting for him. It was unnerving. It was unsettling. How was he doing this? Naruto found himself running in a circle, over and over and over and over again, while Kakashi stood where he had always stood. Because you see, Kakashi never left. Right now, Naruto was trapped in a genjutsu. A genjutsu that made him believe that he couldn't escape that patch of the forest because Kakashi would show up at every opening. And the longer Naruto kept trying to run, the longer the genjutsu would take effect on him. Kakashi wasn't there. He was never there. But the boy would just keep running and running and running until he tired himself out. So Kakashi wasn't really worried about that. In the meantime, Sasuke had managed to escape, and Kori had managed to get her bearings back, the two of them retreating as well. After a while, the time for 11:30 a.m. had finally come, and as such, they were only 30 minutes away from failing. Kori and Sasuke eventually found Naruto, although he was hysterical. He's everywhere. I can't. I just. Sasuke would grab Naruto by the forehead. Release. Huh? Naruto, what's wrong? You've been running for almost 2 hours. He's everywhere. How did you guys get here? Everywhere I look, he never left his spot. You were trapped in a genjutsu. Oh God. It looks like you really got the best of all of us. How do you have, don't ask. But don't ask, Sasuke would say. Right now, we need to figure out a way to get past him. That is our only priority at the moment. And how are we going to do that? I mean, he's had a way to counter all of us up to this point. The time's almost got to be up by now. You know, Naruto would say, I say we make a run for it. Make a run for it? Why don't we just take the lunches and go? I'm starving. I mean, come on. He has to put in effort to actually dodge all of us anyway. Why don't we just take the lunches? Take the lunches? Our goal should be to take the bells. No. I think we should take the lunches, Naruto would say. I mean, think about it. If we all go after him, he's going to be so focused on protecting the bells, those lunches are going to be just plump for the taking. All we have to do is take the lunches. What if he fails us? I have an idea. I don't think he'll fail us. All we have to do is do a little misdirection. We take the lunches instead. Maybe we could use them as a hostage. A hostage? I mean, yeah. Think about it. What if those bells are like hostages on a mission? If the lunches were also hostages, then I mean, who's to say he wouldn't come after the lunches? No, I don't think that's a good idea. He probably would just fail us if we ate them, so that won't work. But you noticed that thing, didn't you? Sasuke would ask him. You mean that book he was trying to read a few times? Yeah, he's really into that book, more so than anything else. I read the cover, Corey would say. It's called Make Out Paradise or something. It's one of those love books that I saw in a bookstore once. Can't believe that's what he's into. Yeah, but look at the way he holds it, the way he reads it so intently. I don't think that's just for show. He really likes that book. So what do you think? Naruto would say. Simple. We go with your hostage plan, but not with the lunches. But they will come into play. Sasuke would huddle them all together. Before they left, Corey would ask, and what about the bells? Let's say we do get them. There are only 2. It means one of us is going to have to fail. What were they going to do about that? One of them would get left behind. If it makes you feel better, I'll fight either one of you for a bell. Oh, what? You're that confident you could beat either one of us? Corey would say. Come on, Naruto. We're not going to take that. What if we just jump you and take the bells? You're more than welcome to try, although I doubt it'll work, loser. What did you call me? Come on. We don't have to do this. Fine. When the time comes, we'll play rock, paper, scissors. Loser has to fight Sasuke for a bell. It's that simple? It's that simple. With that, they would agree to those conditions. There were only 10 minutes left until the test was over. Kakashi wondered if they were even going to make a move at this point. As he waited, from out of nowhere, a horde of Koris would come charging towards him. Shadow Clone Jutsu, huh? And quite a few of them. The Koris all came running towards Kakashi. Kakashi slipped the book back into his pocket as he stood on guard. Half the Koris would come charging towards him, while the other half went for the lunches. She's going to steal the lunches, huh? Well, it's not really what I want her to steal, but I can't really allow her to do that now, can I? Kakashi would make a dash towards the Koris that were going after the lunches. They had managed to steal the 2 boxes as Naruto waited in the wings. At the last second, he would come charging out towards Kakashi. Kakashi looking up to see Naruto with kunai in hand, ready to drive it into him. He would jump and dodge at the last moment, backing him away just long enough for Corey to escape with the lunches. At the last moment, Sasuke, who had flown high into the air, would come swooping down at great speeds, falling and using the momentum to carry him as he made a mad dash towards Kakashi. Kakashi at the last second would avoid Sasuke. However, Sasuke wasn't aiming for the bells. He took the book. As Kakashi had managed to back away, so too did Corey, Naruto, and Sasuke, all of them looking at one another happily, because they had gotten what they had come for. They had managed to get a hold of the lunches, and they had managed to take the book. We weren't aiming for the bells, Naruto would say. We have this. Corey held up the book with pride. So, you went after my reading material. And just how is that going to get you victory? You need to get the bells. I know. And that's why you're going to hand them to us, Sasuke would say. And why would I do... Corey opened up the first page as she began reading. His heart pounded profusely as she leaned forward upon him, her great, well-endowed bosom touching against his... Okay. You don't have to read it. You're right, I don't. I'm not allowed to. Instead, I'll just do this. A small tear formed on the first page. Hey now, hey, we don't have to. Then kick the bells towards us, Sasuke would say. Both of them. Kakashi now knew what they were trying to do. And on one hand, he was proud of them. I mean, it was definitely crafty to use something that he liked as a hostage. But he would still teach them a lesson. He took off the two bells and threw them in front of him. Okay then. Kakashi had his hands up. They're all yours. Naruto would make a move, going to grab the bells. However, the moment he had reached them, Kakashi would instantly get behind, pulling out a kunai and holding it to Naruto's throat. Both Kori and Sasuke stood on guard. They couldn't believe that they had allowed themselves to get caught up in a trap like this. Now, I think we're going to be playing a different game. It's called Hand Over the Book, or your friend's throat gets slit. What? Are you serious? You're going to kill him over a book? Do I look like I'm playing? Kakashi held the knife closer to Naruto's throat. You're sick. You think I'm sick? This is how the world works. One of your friends gets taken as a hostage and you have a decision to make. But if you really want to talk about sick, then Kori, kill Sasuke, and I'll let Naruto go. You both were going to fight over the bells anyway, weren't you? I can tell that between the three of you, you're just a bit more closer to Naruto. I'm sure you'd be perfectly fine if Sasuke were to die, but I don't think you could live with yourself if something happened to Naruto, now could you? I won't do it! I won't kill him! I see. So you've made your choice? Is that it? Naruto, in the heat of the moment, had to stay completely still. However, in his stillness, he felt a sensation, something washing over him. He could feel himself becoming one with the ground. As if standing perfectly still, he could feel himself almost as if he were a tree. He didn't know why, but suddenly he felt as though he could sense the whole forest around him. And what's more, he felt like he had power over it. While waiting to make a move, Naruto staying completely still, focused mentally. He imagined what he wanted to happen. And just underground, multiple tree root-like tendrils would start to appear. Kakashi was taken off guard by this. Kori and Sasuke would make a dash towards Kakashi. Kakashi, however, would cut through the roots, aiming towards Naruto. However, before he could get to him, both Sasuke and Kori had grabbed hold of Kakashi's arms, all of them pinning down and holding Kakashi. What happened next turned into a multiple-way deadlock. Kakashi held a kunai towards Naruto's throat. Sasuke and Kori held a kunai towards Kakashi's throat. If Kakashi made a move, they would make a move. So, you're gonna kill a Leaf Jonin? That's a crime, you know. They'll lock you up. Maybe even give you the death sentence. So, we're not just gonna sit here and let you kill our teammate. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. So, you're willing to take the fall for your teammate? Without any hesitation, we're not going to let you harm him. Naruto wasn't sure of what to do. Guys, don't get in trouble for my sake. Shut up. We're not letting this bastard kill you. That's final. If he wants to kill you, he's just gonna have to take all of us down. Isn't that right? That's your final answer? The three of us are one. You can't just split us up like that. We're not going to abandon someone else to save our own skin. And that's your final decision. It is. Everyone looked at one another, neither one knowing what to do or what was going to happen next. Kakashi, he simply dropped his kunai and backed away. You pass. Huh? You all pass. We pass. You answered the question. You showed what I wanted to see from my team. This whole exercise, Kakashi would say, it was about teamwork. How well you guys could work as a team and how well you could stand as a team in face of opposition. That little stunt I pulled there, sorry by the way, was a way of seeing just how far you all would go for one another. Would you all still work as a team even under the most difficult of situations? You'd be surprised, but many times in the ninja world, situations like this often appear. And more often than not, a team will often abandon a comrade to save their own skin. Kakashi would have them all follow him as they arrived to a monument with names inscribed upon it. This here is a memorial stone for those who fought and died on behalf of the Leaf. Many names inscribed here, even those of my closest friends. There was one, though, that taught me a valuable lesson, one I've carried with me my whole life. It is true that those who break the rules are scum, but those who would abandon a comrade, that is worse than scum. That is the lesson I wanted to impart on all of you. And in my opinion, it's a lesson you have all come to learn greatly. As ninja, you will face many trials and tribulations, many hardships. And sure, in society's eyes, sometimes you will be deemed a fool. But even still, you must have conviction within your own heart, a conviction to see things through, to stand by your comrade, even in the darkest of circumstances. If you can do that, then I have no doubt in my mind that there is nothing in this world that you cannot overcome. And that I truly mean. I am sorry for what I had to do and say back there. I hope you'll forgive me. Kakashi bowed to all of them. If you will, please allow me to be your sensei. Each one would look to one another, all of them deciding that this was their next step forward. And with that, Team 7 had become official. Just as they had made this official, the timer would go off. It was noon. Well, now that the test was over, and he could hear 3 growling bellies, and even his own, he could treat them to some lunch. All right, team, where do you want to go? Before anyone could throw out a suggestion, Naruto already had his. Ichiraku ramen. Sasuke wasn't going to protest, and Kori, she never had ramen often, so she was willing to try it. And as such, Team 7 made their way together, officially united as one, ready to face whatever the world had to offer. This concludes Naruto King of the Beast, What If Naruto Was Swamp Thing, Season 1, Part 3. Stay tuned for tomorrow's video as we continue What If Naruto Was Swamp Thing, Naruto King of the Beast, Season 1, Part 4. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington. with Power Core Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.